y'all. A coach is part advisor, part sounding board, part cheerleader, part manager, and part strategist, according to the Business Journal, right? So thanks so much for joining me. In the next 10 minutes, I'll be sharing with you what a business coach is and how a business coach can be beneficial to you and your business. Like and share this video if you get value from it. I'm Dr. P and I'm a business coach, and I've been a school psychologist for about 10 years in K-12 public schools in the US, right? And I've also been an adjunct faculty for more than 10 different online graduate courses. And throughout my career, I fell into the whole coaching and teaching and mentoring thing. And it was really because of a passion I ended up having for recruitment and retention and just the whole professional development for school psychologists, school counselors, school social workers, teachers, and even working with administrators. And I ended up conducting trainings at like the state level, the national level, and even at the international level, right? And let me be honest with you, when I started that journey to become a school psychologist, I had no idea that's where I was going to end up, because I started that journey because I was struggling as a student when I went through school. Really and truly, school was not my favorite thing to do. It was really a struggle for me, and I always thought that there's a better way that children can learn and different ways that we can provide supports for them. So that's what led me to becoming a school psychologist. But I had no idea that as I embarked on that journey, that I would have really, been so connected to wanting to understand big systems, the organizational principles, organizational development, and focusing on how we can get, the high quality staff to serve our students, to move them from where they were to where they should be, depending on what areas they were struggling in. So, like I said, I was so surprised that as I got into the whole role of being a school psychologist, being in my first job, and ended up having opportunities to sit on different committees, and teams, I ended up really enjoying the whole aspect of teaching, coaching, and mentoring adults. I had no clue that that's where my journey was going to take me. And it has been an experience. It has been an experience because, like I said, I went into school psychology to work with students, and I ended up working a lot with adults and enjoyed it. And enjoyed that training and teaching and coaching and mentoring aspect of it. And throughout that journey, I learned a lot of things. And some of those things included, you have to have a map of where you want to go. You can't just walk into a training and say, hey, I'm going to give a training. You have to have a map. You have to have an idea of what that school staff needs, what that school district needs. And that's where really understanding the outcome, what is wanted, knowing that outcome, that is something that you have to be aware of when you're doing training and professional development, and understanding the steps on how to get there, because we can't just wake up and go into a training and be like, okay, yep, they're going to get this information. You really have to ask yourself, okay, what is the purpose of that training? And then what are the steps? What do you want people to walk away with? Because I don't know about you, but one of the many things I hated about doing professional developments was going to those sessions and sitting down and wondering, what on earth does this have to do with my role? And then at the end of it all, you have all these slides, all these handouts they give you, but you couldn't do anything with any of the stuff that they give you. You're like, what the hell? This was a waste of my damn time. So I really learned that value in on identifying what people needed. So again, going back to that map, understanding what that map is, understanding what the outcome was, understanding how to highlight the steps that are needed to get people to where they need to be so that they can grow. And along the way, some other things that you really do need to have is having the right materials, the right strategies, the right resources available to you so that you can actually get into action. Because there's nothing worse than somebody coming in and giving you this whole presentation, doing this training, and then you finding out that you don't have the resources or the strategies to actually implement, to do the things that they talked about. It really was frustrating when I sat in trainings like that, and I always made sure I wasn't a trainer like that, because I wanted to make sure people were connected to the necessary materials, resources, and strategies they needed so that they can be successful. That was the whole point, of doing the trainings. And also learning how to adapt along that journey. Because when you start off, you're starting here and you want to get here. But sometimes the in-between doesn't work out as smoothly as you think it's going to be working out, right? So you have to learn how to adapt on the spot sometimes, or a lot of times, learn how to adapt and what you need to put into that place so that you can continue moving forward. Because you don't want something to come up, some stumbling block, some roadblock to come up and stop you, and then you use it as an excuse. That's not the point of it. The point is that you want to be moving forward, right? So that was another thing that I learned along my journey of doing the teaching and coaching and mentoring with adults, and really understanding to set some realistic and reasonable goals, not just for the training, but also for myself, and connecting that to the bigger picture for the school, the bigger picture for the department, because you want to make sure there's alignment. Because when there's alignment, then things work out a lot more smoothly and they make more sense, because you get to connect everything, get to connect the dots, right? So those things are really important. And once you've done all those things, then you have to end up measuring your progress, measuring what you're doing, because you could sit down, you could identify certain solutions, you could come up with all these goals, talk about these objectives, and then start taking action. But you also need to know how that action is working, how effective that action is. So you have to be able to monitor that progress and make the necessary changes based on what you found, right? So like I said, those are some of the experiences I learned on my journey, being a school psychologist and having that interest and passion in organizational development and working with administrators. It was always important for me to keep in mind what were the strategic goals they had already outlined for their school or for their district. Because again, like I mentioned a few seconds ago, that alignment is crucial, because you need to get that buy-in. And that helped me out so many times, even at professional conferences, understanding what was the theme of the conference, why people came there. So making sure you connected what you were doing with what people came to see, so that you could really get that buy-in and giving people the resources that they needed, right? So I hope y'all still with me. So I shared all of that to really get to the point of what a business coach is, right? Because to show why I ended up having such happiness and joy in becoming a business coach and helping others, build up their businesses on their entrepreneurial journey. And it has a lot to do with all of those strategies and skills that I mentioned, before. Those are things that I use when I work with entrepreneurs, because strategies are things you can duplicate, you can share with others. And I realized that because I've worked in different school districts in 4 different states, and I always took the strategies with me and implemented the strategies. Yes, the staff was different, but the strategies, because they were effective, they always resulted in progress. So having those strategies, I'm using a lot of those right now as a business coach to help entrepreneurs. And it really doesn't matter what stage of your business you're in, you can benefit from having a business coach. You really can. Because here's the thing about a business coach. A business coach is someone who helps entrepreneurs, right? Who helps entrepreneurs just like you to engage in a series of actions so that you can move your business from where it is now to where you want to be. Kind of like what I said I was doing in the schools, moving individuals from where they were to where they want to be, right? And as a coach, the best thing is that we bring this outside perspective, right? We bring this outside perspective for you and for your business, so that we can help you not just survive your first year, because that first year is a really difficult year for many, but beyond that first year, make it to 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So really helping you get the necessary foundation you need so that you can go on to get that progress. And let me tell you something, a business coach is not a therapist, and a business coach does not do your work for you. You have to show up for your business, and you have to do the work for your business. A business coach helps you to focus on the future. We focus on the end result, that outcome, the thing you want for your business, that desire you have for your business. So that means that business coaches do what? They ask you a ton of questions, and it's going to be a lot of questions. And sometimes there are questions that you don't even want to hear, or you just want to avoid because they're difficult questions. But we have to ask them, because the whole purpose of you hiring us as a business coach is for us to help you get to the root of your problem, to find those solutions so you can get into action to get those results that you want. So along the line, we do become those sounding boards. We help you to connect what you want to do with your vision, your mission, help you connect those goals, those objectives, the budget, your marketing, everything. We help you to connect it all. And along the way, you learn your strengths and your weaknesses and how you can use your strengths to grow your business and how you can manage your weakness, because too many times people focus on their weakness when they should really focus on their strength. So the business coach will help you identify what your leadership style is so that you can use that to grow your team and your whole organization. For some people though, a business coach, along with having access to a peer advisory board, can be very, very, very beneficial to moving that business forward. So if that's something you're interested in, I do suggest that you look into it, because that could be something else, another tool, another strategy you can use. Because sometimes being an entrepreneur, you feel like you're on an island all by yourself. So that peer advisory board, along with having the business coach, can really be beneficial for you to see that success. So to sum it all up, a business coach is that person who's going to get you to move from where you are to where you want to be, help you have that business plan, have that strategic plan so that you can grow and be successful, not just that first year, but beyond that first year for that first 5 years. And every coach is different and every experience is different. But like the Fast Company said, all coaches have one thing in common, and they're ruthlessly results oriented. So if you're working with a coach who is not results oriented, you need to really do some stop and check in, because that person might not be the best for you and your organization. You want someone who's going to move you forward into success. Hope this was valuable for you. Like and share this video if you got value. Remember, I'm aiming to bring you solutions so you can get into action, so you can get those results that you want. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.